The legendary catcher Martin Maldonado is officially retiring after 15 years in the show. So let's talk about it. Welcome back to Good Sports for You, where we are talking about good sports for you. And today we are talking about Martin Maldonado. But before we hop into it, I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. I appreciate it so much. So just a couple weeks ago, Maldonado officially announced that he is retiring from baseball, and he has been in pro ball for a very long time. And to trace it all, we got to start way at the beginning in 2004. The Angels drafted Maldonado in the 27th round out of Puerto Rico, and in the first couple seasons in his pro ball and rookie ball, he was not very good, especially with the bat. So the Angels decided to do a pretty logical thing for any team with a 27th round pick who isn't performing well. They cut him. Thankfully, the Brewers decided to give him a chance, and they signed him in 2006, and again, he still couldn't hit, but he eventually made his way up to the big league level in 2011, so he had been grinding in the minor leagues since 2004, and then finally in 2011, he finally gets his chance, and he has one at-bat, and of course, he doesn't record a hit in that one at-bat. But with the Brewers, he was able to be a consistent backup catcher for quite a long time, for 6 seasons actually. But in that entire time, he never even had a league average OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage. So a good encompass of like everything you want in a hitter, and he wasn't league average ever, not even in one like small stint or anything like that. And then in 2017, he was finally given a real chance to become a real starter, and that was with the original team that had signed him, the Los Angeles Angels. In 2017, he got his first real starting job, and that was with the Los Angeles Angels. And with the Angels, he went on to be a Gold Glove winning catcher in his one season there. Again, his bat was not very productive, but he was so good with the pitching staff and with everyone else that he made such an impression on even the opposing teams. Lance McCullers for the Astros, after watching Maldonado work, was basically like, we need to have him on this team, and begged AJ Hinch to bring him over and make a trade for him, and eventually he did, and then he ended up with the Astros. He played with the Astros for a little bit of time, then he bounced around a couple of teams, and then the Astros brought him back for an extended period of time, and then he kind of once again bounced a little bit all over the place to end his career. He went to the White Sox, was very poor there, then he signed some minor league deals, and then he ended up with the Padres, and once again, was very poor. And when I say that he was poor, I mean with the bat. He was really atrocious with the bat. In his time with the White Sox, in a small sample size, this was in 2024, he hit 119 with a 14 OPS plus. And when you look at his entire career as a whole, like the hitting stats are really awful. He batted .203 for his entire career. He had a .277 on base percentage. He had a .343 slugging and a .620 OPS for a 69 OPS plus, which is not nice at all. That is 31% worse than league average. And in between 2021 and 2024, he hit 175 in that entire span with a 59 OPS plus. So again, that's like a 41% worse than league average hitter. But he was still able to keep a job, which is something that I keep emphasizing, because why would a team want him around? Clearly he's doing something, or he did something, I should say, now that he's retired. He did something that was valuable to the teams. He was an excellent pitch caller. People wanted him around because he was so good at calling what pitch to throw. He was one of the smartest players. He's constantly quoted by managers, his own and opposing, and his teammates, of being one of the smartest players, if not the smartest player on the diamond. Alex Cora mentioned that in 2021, he was probably the MVP of that team. He was cited by his teammates of being the MVP. And this is all while being one of the worst hitters in the entire league. It's because what he did for each squad was so valuable. He was a good guy that people liked to be around. He was a leader in the clubhouse. He knew how to work with the hitters. He knew how to work with the pitchers. It's like he was dissecting everything on a level. He knew exactly what was going to happen with the opposing pitchers. He knew what pitch to call, when to call that pitch. He knew like every situation he already set up in his head. When he went over to the Astros in 2019, he started every single game for Garrett Cole since he came over. And in those 10 starts, Garrett Cole had a 1.57 ERA and a perfect record. Clearly something was working. And I really do think that this is a message that goes beyond baseball. And it's basically like, hey, Maldonado wasn't the best hitter in the world. He probably wasn't the most talented player in the world. I mean, obviously, this is all like in an insane comparison because MLB players are like the top 1% of the top 1%. So he's already one of the best catchers to literally ever live. So it's like I'm getting that out of the way now. But at a pro level, at an MLB level, he was objectively worse than like a lot of players. Other teams could have signed players that could have hit better, could have done other things better. But having him mattered so much. And like I said, this goes beyond baseball. It's basically saying, yes, you need some talent. Talent isn't going to get you everywhere. If you're a league average player and people don't want to work with you, they'll say, alrighty, that's it. That's all I got. But if you can perfect your craft in one thing, like Maldonado did, working with the pitchers, being able to call what pitch, being so smart at every single level, and being a clubhouse guy that's the glue. He was cited in so many articles as being the glue that kept this team together. And this is, remind you, this is the Astros who were dealing with the fallout of the 2017 cheating scandal. He wasn't part of that scandal, but he was there for a lot of the aftermath. He had to be there to rally up all these players, to rally up and say, hey, I know you guys won it back then, and I know you're getting a lot of heat for it now, but we're here to win now. And they did. So it's like having those players like Maldonado are so, so valuable. And if you're a young player out there and you say, oh, well, like, why would I want the career of a Martin Maldonado? You know, like, that sounds so lame. That's so boring. I want to be like one of these star players. Maldonado played 15 seasons in the big leagues, and he made millions and millions of dollars. He has a World Series ring. He has a Gold Glove. He has a career that many MLB players would only dream of. And he did it by sticking to the things that he knew that he was good at. He wasn't trying to be someone that he wasn't. He wasn't trying to take his bat and swing for the fences every single time. He knew that what he was signed on to do was help the pitchers, be the defensive guy, and be the clubhouse leader, and that's exactly what he was. And I think that that's missing a lot in today's game. I think you got a lot of guys who aren't willing to be the clubhouse leader a lot of times, and not willing to say, hey, I'm going to take the back seat. I'm going to do what I need to do. Like leading by example, you know, that is what Maldonado did so, so well. And I love that. And I wish that every single team had a player like a Maldonado. And you know what? If you're a young team that's struggling, why not say, hey, we're going to sign this veteran backstop, give him what, $5 million a year, $3 million a year, whatever it may be. We know we're going to lose this season, but we have a bunch of pitching that we really want to develop. We have a really good catching prospect who can hit the heck out of the ball, but we really want to develop him defensively and in his pitch calling skills. Why not call up a guy like Martin Maldonado and say, hey, what can you do for us right now? We'll give you whatever contract you want. And you're basically going to say, you may even chill on the bench. We just want you to be there for our pitchers, be there for our catching staff, be there to show this young group of players what it's like to have a clubhouse leader so then they can develop into clubhouse leaders. So then a couple years down the line, once things are really thriving and everything like that, then they'll say, hey, let's think back to what Martin would have done for this team. How would he have helped this team? I want to be that guy in the clubhouse. And I think that's so important. And like I said, this is something that applies not just to baseball, but to everything, in every single work environment. Walking down the street, it's like you want to be the guy that other people want to work with. And that's exactly who Maldonado was. And like, I cannot say enough great things about him. I was sad to see that he was retiring, but I mean, it makes sense. He's pushing 40 right now, which is so remarkable. He played professional baseball since 2004. He's been at this for 21 years. He is like, that's all he knows. Like, just remarkable, remarkable story. I really hope that he sticks around, whether that's in a coaching staff somewhere, if he makes some sort of training camp, because I think that he has so much valuable information that he can pass down onto future generations and just teach them how to be a good catcher, how to be a good ball player, and how to be a good teammate in person. So huge shout out to Martin Maldonado. Thank you so much for everything that you did for Major League Baseball. I'm sad to see you go. I'm so glad that you were part of my Milwaukee Brewers for so long. It was awesome. I'll always have a special place in my heart for him. You know what? Get him in the Hall. No, he's not going to get in the Hall. But you know what? Why not? Just for the heck of it. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching Good Sports for You. I hope that maybe you'll think a little bit more about these guys like Martin Maldonado when you sign them to your team, and think about how much value they can bring just outside of the stat sheet. So like I said, thank you so much for listening to me. I had a great time talking to you. I hope that you had a good time listening. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I'm out. Peace.